What's up, y'all? I'm James, and I'm
Um,
Hunter,
yep, that's me.
and we're back with another Splat Chats. Last time we were on, we had Jeff Brantley, and today we're honored to have Konnor Griffin. Konnor, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. First, just thank you for having me on this. It's really cool, and looking forward to just chatting with y'all and talking about kind of my journey and things like that. But yeah, so I'm a 2024, just graduated from Jackson Prep. Live in Florence, Mississippi, and I'm committed to LSU.
Huge congrats on graduating. I know how tough that is, especially you crammed in an extra year to jump a class. So I know that is extremely difficult. So yeah, congrats on you graduating last night. That's huge. Anyway, I want to start with a little rapid fire questions. We're going to have 30 seconds for you to answer as many as we can get. Just some icebreaker type questions, kind of get to know you a little more. And
Yeah,
so I'll get the 30-second timer running. Let me get my clock up and then we'll begin. You ready?
let's do it.
All right. One. All right. Two. One. All right. Let's see. Beach or mountains?
The beach,
Hamburger, hot dog.
hamburger,
Hunting or fishing?
fishing.
Anthony Edwards or Luka Doncic?
Anthony Edwards,
Minute Maid Park or Globe Life Field?
Global Life,
Movies or TV shows?
movies,
What's your favorite subject in school?
math,
Pitching or hitting?
hidden,
You an early bird or a night owl?
night owl,
What's your favorite animal?
monkey.
And that's time. Good stuff.
There we go.
Good. A little get to know you. Some sports questions in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you're a big fan of which MLB team?
I grew up a Braves fan. Just my dad grew up in Georgia, and it just seemed like the Braves were always on at the house. So just grew up loving them.
Yeah, I know Hunter in Knoxville area, a lot of Braves fans, and in Mississippi. My dad's a diehard Braves fan. I sadly did not inherit that. I lived in Houston for a little bit, so I became an Astros fan,
Okay.
and it came back to bite me a few years ago when the cheating allegations happened.
Yep.
So yeah,
Still a really good team though. They always seem to be winning, and even though they did do that cheating stuff, but they're still a good baseball team today. So
they're a quality team, good postseason team. And speaking of postseason, you want to talk about your postseason run? I know Jackson Prep just won the championship, and that's big for y'all. That's y'all seventh, right?
yeah, 7 in a row. We worked really hard for that, and as a senior, you never want to be the class that goes out without winning it. You don't want to be the team to break the streak, and we worked really hard together. We had a great team, great coaching staff, and it took a lot of work. This state championship was pretty hard to get because we faced some good teams, but it's pretty cool to go out with a bang. Win that seventh state championship.
I completely agree. I was able to go to the MRA prep game. Oh, we lost Hunter. He'll be back. Don't worry. I was able to go to that game, and y'all's pitching staff is lights out. I mean, I got to see who was it, Kevin, and then Reed, and then I know y'all had Ham warming up in the bullpen. And it was just so much fun to watch, and y'all's fans were electric. I mean, that was a packed house. I got to
Yeah,
get out to right field, see some of my prep friends, had some crawfish. It was pretty good. But
there we go.
props to y'all. I'm really hoping I can get something like that at Jay in the coming years. And Hunter, what's it like in Maryville?
Baseball's not as big around here. I know. I mean, we have Farragut right up the road. They're top 10 team in the country baseball
Yeah.
wise. Have a lot of D1 commits. They're fun to watch. It's basically like watching a college team out there, an SEC team. In Maryville wise, baseball program is pretty good. Nothing like Farragut, but it's not as big down in Mississippi. I mean, you have Mississippi State, Ole Miss, two great programs, two historic programs. So baseball's huge down there. I know that. But Connor, talk about your journey to LSU. I know you committed to LSU. Talk about that kind of journey right there.
Yeah. So the recruiting process kind of started pretty early for me. I think I got my first offer when I was going into my eighth grade year. So it started really early, and I had a lot of schools reaching out, and I'm super thankful for that because I was working really hard, and just to see that hard work pay off was pretty cool. And once I got offers, I kind of narrowed it down to my top five because At the time, I could only take 5 official visits, so I wanted to make sure to, go take all those visits, experience each college, and really make sure I'm picking the right place. So I narrowed it down to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Auburn, and Texas A&M. So really, 5 really good SEC schools, and I visited all of them. And then, like, I grew up an Ole Miss fan, so like I'm an Ole Miss guy at heart, and I really thought I was going to go there. But during the recruiting process, Jay Johnson, man, he's just he's different. He was like sending me handwritten letters. We were doing Zooms, and he was breaking down swings, and I just could see myself developing a lot better at LSU. Where Ole Miss, they backed off of me a little bit. They were calling me here and there, but they really didn't show a whole lot of interest. It's almost like they thought they had me since I was a Mississippi guy. But LSU, they were just on me all the time, and then I went down there on my visit and just kind of felt like home. I saw the atmosphere. I actually got to on my visit. I went to the LSU Alabama football game when LSU beat them and everybody stormed the field. So I saw every bit of the atmosphere that LSU got. And so it was really cool, and great coaching staff there at LSU. And I just feel like Jay Johnson would develop me into the player that I want to be at the next level, and that's really the most important thing that went into it.
Yeah, unbelievable. I've been able to follow you on Instagram and see kind of your journey, and I know that winning environment is huge, especially down in Baton Rouge at LSU. But I think also you talked about that family aspect, and you don't want to go to a college where you're just another player. You want to feel that family environment, and I know you're a big family guy. And part of it goes down to your faith. And I have the opportunity to see you most Sundays at church. I think that's awesome. So can you talk a little about your faith and how that works within baseball?
Yeah. So I grew up in the church. I lived in Clinton for a long time, and went to First Baptist Clinton, and then I moved over to Florence, and then started going to Jackson Prep, and then that's where I met my girlfriend Dindy Hogan, and she and her family went to First Baptist Jackson, and then I moved over there. I started loving that, and but yeah, I'm big in my faith. Like I've always been one of the SCA leaders at the school, and just trying to glorify God and all that I can do. And I just try to live day by day, just living for God, and trying to be a great example of what a Christian is like. Because my calling on this earth is to use my platform and spread the word to as many people as possible. And if I have a big platform on social media, I have great opportunities to do that. So I just try to do the best I can. I want to spread a positive impact on the people around me, and just trying to bring others to God. I feel like I could impact a lot of lives, through my journey through baseball. And you'll see me every game, like when they call my name out, I'll point up to the sky, just giving Him the glory before I play a game, just because at the end of the day, the baseball game really doesn't matter. It's your faith in God, and trying to get to heaven. So that's super important to me, and something deep in my heart for sure.
Could not agree more with you. I think that's one of the awesome things, and one of the reasons why, I'm a JA guy, but I find it so hard. A lot of JA and prep, we like to bicker back and forth, but it's so difficult because, at the end of the day, we're all just sons and daughters of God. And so I think if nothing else out of your journey, I know you're going to do great things, but if nothing else, I know you're going to use your platform for good. And it's almost Tim Tebow-esque. Like, he gave everything back. And is he one of your, who is your hero when it comes down to it? Because I know he's very influential when it comes to athletics and Christianity. So who is that guy that you look up to that you're struggling, you need to read a book to kind of help you, or you need to listen to someone? Who is that guy in your life?
Yeah, I would. Tim Tebow's a great one. I have some of his books in my room, and I'll go to those books and read those if I ever feel like I'm just like searching for something, searching for a way to handle a big situation or pressure or anything like that. He's a great one, and there's not many athletes these days that really show their faith a whole lot. It's just the way the world is today, and But a great example is Evan Carter, who's the left fielder for the Texas Rangers. He's a rookie, or he was a rookie last year, and during the World Series, he started wearing these shirts during BP and it said Jesus won. So I thought that was really cool how, he's on the biggest stage in baseball and he's just, spreading the word, wearing those shirts. And I think he sold over just like thousands of them just because a lot of Christians saw what he was doing and, became big fans. So it's cool to see players like that. It kind of, inspires me to try to come up with some ideas, to along my journey to, spread the word because there's a lot of things you can do, and it's just, a good impact on people around you.
Yeah, I remember, obviously, I'm an Astros fan, so I don't like the Rangers one bit, but I have to respect a guy like that. And another guy that comes to mind is Jonathan Isaac on the Magic. He recently came out with a signature shoe called the Judo Ones, I think, and he puts Bible verses on them. So seeing guys within the industry, promote Christ is really, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. So I think that's really cool. You talked about he sold what, 1 million of these shirts. That's awesome. But also that leads us to the financial side of sports. Sports is a business at the end of the day. And how are you going to navigate when it comes down to the finances of sports and deals and contracts and negotiating? How does a player do that? Because I want to work in sports one day. Yeah. And I know a little, but you obviously have a much better view of it than me.
Yeah, so the financial side of it's really big. That's what controls the game. Everybody has contracts. Everybody has endorsement deals. And if you're an athlete, you're trying to worry about playing and performing on the field. So you got to have people that'll help you with that. So I have a financial guy. He's from Baton Rouge, and he takes care of all the financial side of it, just so I can focus in, do the best I can on the field, and then if I have any questions, he's taking care of everything for me on the financial side. But man, there's just so much money that comes with this game now. It's ridiculous. So you just you can never like lose focus of the love for the game and not fall into the love and the money that you make. You're doing this because you've wanted to do it since you were a kid, and keeping that same mindset is going to be really important.
Absolutely. I know, Hunter, you're a big Yankees fan, and we've seen teams like the Yankees spend billions on players, and then we see teams like, the Rays, where they don't spend anything and they still are competitive. So I don't know how that works. Hunter, do you have a little insight on that?
Listen, I cheer for a team that spends billions upon billions of dollars each offseason. I don't know how the Rays do it. I don't know how the A's do it. But I have a question for you, Konnor. You said you like hitting a lot. What's the dream home run spot? You're up at the plate. What stadium do you want to hit a home run at? What stadium are you dying to?
Man, I would probably say, the Braves Stadium, just sometime in the playoff. Like, I've been to a playoff game there when they beat the Dodgers to go to the World Series, and that place erupted. And all the light. Sometimes they turn off the lights, and everybody has their phone doing the chop. Yeah, so it's super cool, and I think that would be amazing. Like, I got chills watching it. So I couldn't imagine just like hitting a walk-off home run or something like that. That'd be really cool.
The stress levels in a situation like that must be insane. And I know you've played for Perfect Game and you've played for Jackson Prep and you've played for Team USA even. But what's it like getting up to the plate? You're in a dire situation where you need a hit, you need a run. What's it like when that happens?
It all goes back to how much work you put in and just trusting your skills. Like, you can't really, stress about anything, feel the pressure if you've worked really hard and, you prepared yourself for those moments. And, that you just got to trust your skills and let them take over. If you start thinking about, oh, I got to get a hit here, got to get a hit, you lose focus of what you're trying to do. You got to go up with a plan to attack fastballs and, catch a barrel. But if you start thinking too much, you're going to lose sight of that. And, for me, things go downhill when I start thinking. So, a lot of times people ask when I'm hitting, like, what's your mindset? What's your approach? I'm like, you know what, I really don't have one. I just go up to the plate, try to be an athlete and react and hit the ball, and that's really it. And I've had success like that. So, but yeah, I would say just you prepare yourself for those moments in the all seasons and every day when you're preparing in the cage. So you just got to trust your skills and let them take over. And you may fail because that's part of it. But at the end of the day, sometimes it'll happen for you and it'll be really cool.
Yeah, that reminds me of a Michael Jordan quote where he pretty much says, I failed over and over and over again. That makes me like who I am. Like that's how he's so good is he's failed so much that those great moments are even better. And I assume it's the same way on the defensive side of ball where you're pitching or you're at short. You just don't think, you just kind of do.
Yeah, and playing defense is hard because you're just standing out there and just waiting for a ball to come. So you got to really focus in, and if you get caught off guard, it may be hard to make a play that you usually do. but yeah, and I love pitching too, so it's fun to be on the mound and trying to. I like to control a game, so if I'm cruising, it's pretty fun.
And I've read some reports on you, different mock drafts and stuff. Super fun to see. And I know LSU's produced some pitching studs like Paul Skeens. What's the approach from here on out? Are you going to be pitching and hitting, kind of like a Shohei type player? Or are you going to focus on one or the other? I know that's what some of the scouting reports have said on you is this
Yeah.
team wants you to focus on pitching. This team wants you in the field. How does that happen?
I think if I go to LSU, then I'm going to try to be a two-way. I think in college I'm able to do it, and LSU they want me to do it, so they're going to give me the opportunity, and until I feel like I can't do it. But if I go pro, then I'll probably just stick to just hitting and give up pitching side of it, just because you play 160 something games a year. You're playing, six days a week, so your body has to have some rest and recovery. And if I'm having to worry about pitching and hitting and doing that for 162 games, like it's a lot of stuff on my body, and that I would probably get worn down pretty quick. So I just want to be my best at hitting, and then give a team my best when I'm in the box. So, and if I'm pitching, I probably would have to focus on that a little bit too, and that could be tough. But it just makes you appreciate the players that do it in the big leagues because that's not how hard it is.
Yeah, I haven't played baseball probably since I was in the 5th grade, but just watching guys like Shohei Ohtani go out there, I mean, one of the best since Babe Ruth did it. It's impressive watching him do what he's doing. I mean, and putting up the numbers. I mean, he's not an average hitter, and he's definitely not an average pitcher. And he's putting up those numbers. It's just insane. I mean, it's hard to explain how hard they work to get to where they are. And then, I also don't get how they fall into the scandals that they fall into. Like, you've worked so hard your whole life to get where you are. You're at the top of your game. You're one of the best players, and you screw up. Like, how does one avoid that? Is it just keeping a good mental health, and then keeping, obviously for you, your faith in Christ definitely will help encourage you not to fall for those scandals. So how does one keep it off the field as good as they keep it on the field?
It's hard to do it by yourself. So having a good group of people around you. My mom always says, keep a small circle of people that you trust. So family and really close friends, and just having a group of people to fall onto for advice, or if you need something or anything like that, you have people there, supporting you, keeping you in check, and having faith is really big in that situation as well. Just leaning on God, and we're all sinners. We all do things that we shouldn't, but having that relationship with God, knowing that He died for our sins, is going to be really important, and just being able to talk through things with Him, and just stay in the Word can keep you out of a lot of trouble, a lot of stuff that could hurt your career. And yeah, so I would say, keeping your faith and building that relationship, and then just trusting the people that have been there for you since you started the journey.
That's definitely something. I'm never going to be in the MLB. That's something, even guys like me and guys like Hunter, we still struggle with the same stuff you struggle with.
Right.
And it's just guys like one guy comes to my head anytime I talk about this, and I know you've been impacted by him, Friend Walker. He'll never play in the MLB, but his impact on my life and from what I've heard your life is just it's crazy what he's done, and it's been so helpful for times where I've needed someone to talk to, or he's recommended books for me to read, and he's just been there through my day-to-day life. Anytime I need him, I know I can call him. So definitely, yeah, having that guy that I can go to, or that group of guys, and Friend is by far one of the best people to talk to.
Yeah, no doubt. I love Friend, and he's been there for me for a long time, and I met him. I'm glad that First Baptist Jackson opened some doors to some friendships, and you need guys like that. Like when I was playing for Team USA, he was always texting me, telling me good luck, stuff like that, and and then just always reaching out and always telling me if I ever need somebody to talk to, we can talk. And sometimes it's about faith, or sometimes we go play golf and just be boys. So it's cool, and it's I'm glad to have a friend like that for sure.
Definitely, definitely. And Team USA, what's it like playing for them and like Perfect Game and all these other big teams that you see on social media and you see on the news? What's it like? You're on the center stage for that.
Yeah, so Team USA, that was a really cool experience. So going back a little bit, I made the 15U team a few years ago, but it was during COVID and we didn't get to go play. So all I did was just make the team and got my jersey and got sent home. So that was really about it. But going into this past summer, one of my biggest goals was to make that 18U team, and it was going to take a lot of hard work, but I went to the trials and in California, and I had a really good show. And I hit a home run in the trials, and then I had like two doubles and a triple or something, which we're facing the top arms in the country, and that was really cool to see my hard work paying off. And it's definitely a good feeling when you're at the trials trying to make a team, having a good showing, because I kind of knew going into the selection day that I had a good shot of being on the team. And so that was really cool. And hearing my name called was it's just an honor. It's a dream that every kid wants to play for Team USA and hear their name called on the team. And I was able to experience that. And so we prepared in California, and then we flew out of LAX to, it was a 13 and a half hour flight all the way to Taiwan. So it was a long one, and but we did it, and we got over there, got to the city. It was definitely different, man. It's a different atmosphere, but it was cool because all the people there were just so nice. They just thought we were like giants because everybody's tiny over there, and they're just taking pictures of us everywhere we went. And like we got to the hotel, and like our beds, like we walked in the room and the beds are only about like this far off the ground just because everybody's so small. So like it's like we were laying on like a just like a mattress on the floor. It was funny. Um, but the playing aspect of it, we had a really good team, top players in the country, and we getting to compete against teams like Japan and Chinese Taipei and Spain, all these different teams. It was really cool to see like where these kids are in the country, and how good they were. Like we got smoked by Japan and Chinese Taipei. Like we thought we were gonna go over there and kind of cruise through it, and we had the wrong mindset because those guys had nothing to lose playing us. And they brought a great crowd, especially the Chinese Taipei, because that's their hometown is Taiwan. There was like 10,000 people there, and just they had guys like on top of the dugouts with like microphones yelling. They had like a band in the stands, like hitting drums. Like, dude, it was ridiculous. Like, I've never experienced something like that. But it made the games here at Prep this year feel like nothing. because I was like, man, I've been in some big situations, and playing in front of that crowd was probably the biggest. So it definitely prepared me for like big moments, and I feel like I had a really good showing over there. I feel like I played really good. Had a lot of hard hit balls, and but yeah, we didn't win. We got beat in the bronze game, and I wish we could have. I wish we could have done a little better. It just didn't seem like we were, a team really. Like we had a lot of guys who had individual mindsets because, going through the summer, you go through showcases and you got to do the best for you. And when you put a bunch of guys like that on a team, we kind of forgot what being a team was. So I think that kind of hurt us, but overall, it was just an honor playing for Team USA, and just such a cool experience, and something I've dreamed up for a long time. And then the perfect game stuff. I've been doing perfect game events since I was 12. So I made the 13U Select Fest, the 14U, and then the All American game. So I've played some cool games, got a lot of gear from Perfect Game and stuff like that. So big shout out to them because they've really helped me get my name out there, and helped me get on the big stage, and that was very important for me.
You talked about playing overseas and all playing for Team USA, playing for Perfect Game. Are there any guys that you're from those other teams that you might face in college or the MLB that you're looking to face?
Yeah, so I got a buddy. His name's William Schmidt. He's committed to LSU as well. So he's at the Perfect Game and the USA stuff with me. Really good buddy, and it's always fun facing him. So he's like 99, got a nasty curveball. So it'll be fun.
You talk about playing in the SEC. Of course, there's great rivalries in the SEC. What team are you looking forward to playing first?
I would I would probably say Ole Miss or State. I wanna come back to Mississippi and see everybody that I know in the stands, and try to beat their team. So it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be weird coming back to Mississippi playing against Mississippi people because I'm a big Mississippi guy. I feel like I've done a lot to try to get Mississippi on the map in baseball because a lot of people look down upon Mississippi baseball. So it'll be weird for sure, but at the end of the day, I'm a big Mississippi guy. I got a lot of love for it. So, but yeah, I'd love to play Ole Miss or State.
Yeah, I mean, the MAIS alone has produced guys like Jake Mangum and Dakota Jordan. You're the next guy up. I mean, what's it like? I mean, hopefully, you don't go to the draft and Dakota doesn't go to the draft. I know that's not possible, but I would love to see y'all go up against each other. I think that would be awesome for the sport, and especially for the Jackson metro area because he's a JA guy, you're a prep guy, you're at
Yeah,
LSU, he's at State. That would be awesome to see. I would definitely be at that game. And yeah, you would get to go to Duty Noble or to what's Ole Miss's?
crazy.
Yeah, Swayze. I mean, two good environments.
Yeah,
But you said nothing compares to the Chinese Taipei people. So
yeah,
kudos to them. I'm
yeah,
impressed by the international baseball scene.
yeah. No doubt. Yeah, that would be super cool to play guys like Dakota, and it's already cool seeing like Riley Maddox and Eli Birch and Mason Nichols for Ole Miss. They're all prep guys, and going up against Dakota and like Bryce Chance, the MRA guy. So it's cool to see like the MAIS is producing a lot of good players, and I don't think people are really like noticing it, but they will. They will shortly because we got a lot of good players that are playing D1 right now.
Yeah, I mean, the three right there, Jay, Prep. I know Jay's kind of slacking off, but Jay, Prep, and MRA, they've been producing guys, and I think we kind of need a little more recognition, for the talent we're putting into the college level and then hopefully the professional level. And so I know we've talked a little international ball, but you get drafted by the Blue Jays. I know it's probably not going to happen, but what would playing in Canada be like?
It'd be different. It'd be different for sure, but at the same time, I would probably be back over here in the U.S. playing most of my games. But I've never been to Canada. I don't know what the atmosphere is like, but I'm sure it's great. I've seen videos. I just remember like when Jose Bautista played for the Blue Jays and hit like a walk-off home run, and I remember seeing that atmosphere. So anywhere you go, these big league teams they have tons of fans, and it'd be cool to play for any single one of them.
Yeah. I mean, the Blue Jays have nice uniforms. I know the Expos had some nice ones, but let's talk a little City Connect. I know we've had some teams come out with new uniforms. The Cardinals just came out with theirs that say the Lou. Any favorites, any ones you like, dislike? What are your thoughts on it as a whole?
Um, I love the idea. It just brings a spark to the game. I could see where like old time baseball people wouldn't really like it. It's like the classic jerseys, but I love the Miami colors. They have a really good one, like the all black
Mm-hmm.
with some pink and some like turquoise. I love those colors. So I think that's gonna be my favorite.
I think there's definitely a sweet spot when it comes to because you have some like Detroit's that are a little bland, or even the
Yeah,
Dodgers that just Los Dodgers, cool, but could have done better. And then you have some like way over the top
yeah.
ones, like San Diego's. I mean, that is
Uh,
wow.
San
There's
Diego,
definitely go ahead.
San Diego's is pretty cool. I like theirs too.
There's our.
Yeah,
I definitely see where some of those old heads are like, this is ruining the sport. And
yeah.
the Yankees still have yet to release theirs. On Hunter, are they ever going to release it, or are they too old school to release it?
We're too old school, sadly. We can't have beards either. I don't get it, but it's tradition. And I guess it won us a lot of championships back in the day. Hasn't won us any recently, but I mean, here we are. But you talked about the Braves. You talked about hitting a home run at Braves Stadium. I talked about playing in the SEC. LSU, they're playing Kentucky right now in the SEC tourney. I know you watched that game probably yesterday.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about LSU in the SEC tourney?
We look really good right now, so that's it's good to see that. Good to see that during like the postseason. But I just hope we make a run. We've kind of had a down year, lost a lot of games, so just trying to do the best we can with our pitching staff. And LSU's a different team in the playoffs, so we'll see how it goes. But I know there's a lot of great teams out there as well. That's looking to make a good Omaha run, and we know LSU wants to, and I'm sure State does too, and then all the like Arkansas, I know they're gonna have a good shot. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun little series or SEC tournament, and then the regionals. It'll be interesting to see what all happens. Such great teams around right now.
At the end of the day, it comes down to the pitching staff. Any good team can hit, but not every good team can pitch. How does one navigate that as the coach? How do you know I need to pitch this guy? This guy's doing hot. This guy's doing cold. How do I conserve my pitchers to make that run? Because that's what separates good teams from great teams is the pitching.
No doubt. I agree with that. Pitching and playing clean games, not walking people, not making errors, and attacking on offense. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but definitely pitching and defense is one of the most important things for sure.
Yeah, we watched Auger on the mound last night for Mississippi State. Had what I would call a generational outing. I mean, he went 8 innings, 78 pitches pitched, 13 Ks, 3 hits, and 1 ER. I mean, that is, elite. Any thoughts on his performance last night?
I didn't get to watch much of it, but I heard that it was electric, and big time players, shine in big time moments. So it was it's cool to see that. I bet he feels great about his outing, and doing it on the biggest stage of the SEC tournament. So it's cool. It's cool to see that. And I would also say that Riley Maddox for Ole Miss had a great one too.
He had a really good one too. He made me worried. I was in a Buffalo Wild Wings last night, and I was worried sick because that first inning goes by, and I was not feeling good after that first inning.
Yeah. That's fun.
Excellent game though, and then a lot of new stuff coming to SEC and sports in general. Texas and Oklahoma. How's that going to affect your journey at LSU?
I really don't know. I don't think it'll be too different. It's two good teams, and I think it'll add some competition to the SEC, and the SEC is the best conference there is. So if they feel like they belong in it, then it'll be interesting to see what happens. I guess I'll be playing one of those teams and just see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Who's the real
Two.
UT?
You said
Who's
what?
the real UT? Who's the real UT? Tennessee or Texas?
I would say Texas.
Oh, oh,
Hunter, I completely agree with him. We've had this debate before.
oh,
It's definitely Texas.
that hurts. That hurts right
You
there.
just don't, I just don't think of Tennessee when I think of UT.
That's
I
fair.
got to agree
That's
with
fair.
him on this one.
Hey, but the Rocky Top song, that's pretty cool.
Listen, it's engraved in our heads as soon as we're born. Let me tell you, you hear it everywhere you walk, especially on Saturdays,
Yep.
especially at Tennessee baseball games. It's hard to get into those places. I remember like 3 years ago, you could get into the game for a can of soup. So all you had to do was bring a can of soup, you get into the game, and now it costs $50 to go to a midweek game.
Yeah.
It's just kind of insane how the SEC, I guess, baseball really has grown. You've seen it in Arkansas as well. Definitely LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi, also Florida. Is there any stadium that you're ready to play at? You're ready to go? I'm sure, of course, at LSU, but like any
Yeah.
away games?
Yeah, I would say I want to play at the Omaha Stadium. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, listen, all the SEC stadiums, I know they're gonna be cool. But winning a national championship would be really cool as well.
That's the dream, and that's the end goal of playing college ball. It's not about the NIL money or even winning the SEC. It's about getting that national championship.
Right.
And I know LSU has the facilities and the players for that. A little bit of a down year, but y'all lost a lot of big guys from last year. The pitching staff isn't as well this year, but y'all definitely are the team and the program to make a run in the postseason. And that would be – I'm not an LSU guy, but it would pain me to say I wouldn't have fun watching you make that run.
No doubt.
Being a Mississippi guy.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be super cool. It's been a dream I've had for a long time. So definitely gonna keep working hard and see what happens, man.
Does that affect your decision a little when it comes down to I'm probably a top 10 pick, but also I'm going to arguably the best program in college baseball of all time? Does winning that national championship sway you one way or the other?
It's hard, man, because you want to win it, but you also want to get drafted, and it's a lot of mixed emotions about both ways. So I'm just kind of giving it to God and just letting Him take me wherever, and just trying to trust Him and just sit back and see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, I've been really impressed with all you've done, not only on the field but off the field. I know Preps FCA has grown. We've had a couple nights, the Fields of Faith with JA. I was blessed to go to the one at Christmas. I sadly couldn't go to the spring one.
Yeah.
But I think that's really cool, all the work you've been putting in and off the field. And I know it will pay off. And I know you'll make the best decision for you and your family and from here on out. And wherever you go, I'm going to be rooting for you. I know Hunter will be, and the rest of our team. We got your back, man. And I'm really thankful you came on the show today. I've had a blast. I know Hunter's had a good time. I hope you have too. Just thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and maybe we could do it again here in a few months or a few years, just to see how everything's going and see where I'm at, and it'll be cool, kind of looking back on this day and kind of comparing it to where I'm at. So it'll be fun, and I appreciate y'all guys for having me on.
Absolutely. Any last remarks, Hunter?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Konnor.